Well, this is a little different. It's Dave from Bullpen Cycles, and welcome to Mecum Las Vegas in the basement of our digs. I've never done it like this before. I've been watching this show now. Today's Saturday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Today's the last day. I think I found some great stuff. There's an ebb and flow to each day. And I'm going to share that with you because there's some outrageous, way expensive motorcycles, and then sometimes the very same bike could have been had a different day for a fraction of the price. So if you watch it long enough, you can score something, and if you're a seller, you gotta beware. So let me explain. First, I'm going to show you some things that went off Thursday and Friday. Today's Saturday. There's a bike I want to bid on, but it doesn't come up till the very end of the day. What I've been doing is, I call it keeping them honest. Now, there's a little bit of risk in that because I think if a bike is too cheap, I'm going to bid on it, and sometimes I'll win. But sometimes there's a reason it's so cheap, and I'm not there. I don't always know that reason. So I could get lucky. I could not get lucky. We don't know. I guess it's like playing the stock market. Am I day trading? Well, except it's not liquid. You just can't turn around and hit sell. But come join me. $14,000 for a 1975 CB750. Of course the reserve is low. So let me show you. I'll turn this down. A few highlights from earlier in this week. Now every day has a different feel to it. People were commenting after looking at the low prices Wednesday and Thursday. They're saying, oh, the hobby is dead. The audience is aging out. And now Saturday, the prices are high again. And sometimes you can see the exact same bike, or at least with regard to the same make and model. This is one of the bikes that I bought. I bought this 1982 Katana. 745 miles on this bike. Near as I can tell, that's probably the original mileage. You can see where the master cylinder fluid leaked. So it's probably been sitting all that time. I haven't seen it. We're going to find out if I did well. But that bike, $7,700. That's my price on that bike after I pay all of Mecum's fees. Now we look to yesterday. Another bike, same make and model. Nothing special. It doesn't say restored or anything like that. It doesn't say that it runs. We assume these run, but they don't say it. They might not run. 12,445 miles. $15,400 after fees. So somebody paid almost twice as much for this bike because it was on Saturday than I paid for the same bike on Thursday. I can't get over that. That's a huge difference. But now, there's some other things that I think I should point out. This bike is a Mad Max Goose replica. And it's a pretty nice one. I've seen a couple of these. These have a big following, especially in Australia and New Zealand. And usually they're around $15,000. It costs, if you have the right fairing and the right police parts, it costs quite a bit to do that bike up correctly. There's a certain model that it was done. I don't remember exactly what it was. More on that later. But this bike sold for $5,500. Actually, it was $5,000 plus a $500 fee. But I have to tell you something about bidding online, because I was bidding on this bike. And I have a video of me bidding. When you bid, you're going to see a bid price and an ask price. And if you listen to them going, they're going to say, I got 5,000, now 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 6,000, you know, and they do that. And the ask price was 6,000, but they were only asking 5,500. So the bid price was 5,000. The ask price was 5,500, but the button said 6,000. So I was waiting for the software to update so that I could bid the 5,500, and it never updated. Finally, I gave up and I hit the dang button at 6,000, and they hammered it down to the other guy. Once they hammer it down at Mecum, it's over. All sales are final. It's not like when you're live, you can dispute it and they put it back up. They should have a little chat window, because I think they jerked me out of that bike. I was willing to bid a fair amount more, but because of a glitch in their software, they locked me out.
David get 3, get 4, get 4, David get 4, 5, and now 5,000. David get $5,000, $4,000, 5, 600 bid, 5, 6, Iron David at $5,000 down 6 here, $5,000 down 6,000, David get $5,000 is bid, David get $6,000, David get $5,500 bid, $5,500, $5,000 down 5,500 bid, Mitch's way, $5,000 down 5,500 to half, so $5,000 Mitchell now offering
82 490 Alpha 1. This was not a great year for Mecum. The best year is an 81 490 as a twin shocker. That's the famous one. This is the first year for monoshock. Not a great year. An 81 490 would be an $8,000 to $10,000 bike. This is still a very good bike. You can sort out that monoshock, but when they came from the factory, it was not a very good year. $3,500. That means this bike sold for $3,000 and it had a $500 buyer's fee. Some seller got really burned on this. Probably should have used a reserve. I bid on this, but I wasn't going crazy because it costs $850 per bike to ship a bike from Las Vegas to Florida. Here's something else I want to show you, and here's why I didn't bid. AJS Stormer 250. This is AJS version of the Greaves. It's got I think that's the Villar's, is it called a Star Maker? It's very similar to the Greaves of the time. They're not very well renowned, but $2,750. I think this got bid up to $2,200, $2,250, and that's cheap. Does it say? It doesn't say. It says discovered in a motorcycle dealer's garage, rode it once or twice, drained it, cleaned it, and let it sit. Original Trelleborg tires. This is a very original bike. Hasn't run in years, but $2,200. So now you get a buyer's fee. That takes you to $2,750. Add another $800. You're at $3,500 before you even get it home. Is it worth $3,500? Probably, but that's probably the price you'd see it at a swap meet. So if I was there with a trailer, I'd buy all these that I could buy. Consider this one. I'm going to show you. Hang on. I bid on this. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it because I couldn't make sense of, boy, the black rims on a CZ. This is a big bore CZ. The 72 380 CZ. This is a big deal for CZ. And it's got some kind of goofy repop tank. Black rims on a vintage bike. Gag me with a spoon. But a 380 engine, a nice straight pipe, hubs. This bike sold for $1,650. That's with the fee. That's $1,150. The seller here got burned. Man, always use a reserve. And also, pay for your Saturday exposure. And thirdly, this setup, this retro mod for racing, Mecum is for collectors. This bike would have done better at York or at Arma swap meet or something like that. This isn't the bike for Mecum. This seller got burned. On top of that, he's going to be insulted that he's got to have to pay. He had to pay to transport it there. And he has to pay the Mecum fee, $1,100. He might even owe them money by the time this is done. That is so horrible. Feel bad for that guy. So, let me show you some of the things. I bought four, count them, four. 1, 2, 3, 4 bikes. And I wasn't shopping, well, I was shopping for one. And I think I did okay. But I don't know, because my goal was keep them honest. You see, there are some deals that can be had. You can also get sucked into it and go nuts. But if you're good, you can get in there low. And sometimes there's bikes that are overlooked. And maybe you can do something with it. Now, the risk is I'm on the internet, so I have to pay 12% instead of 10%. So I can't see them. And I'm calling people saying, hey, can you lay your eyes on this? And they can't, because it's a zoo over there. They're too busy just trying to navigate their own stuff. But I bought this Trident. It says 2 miles since restoration. Doesn't look perfect, but it looks pretty good. These are, and you've seen them at the swap meets, they're $12,000, $15,000 bikes. I'm in it for $8,800, another $800 to ship it. So I'll be in it for about $9,500. I'll probably see how well sorted it is and then offer it for sale. So I think well, you see the plan there. The other bike that we haven't seen yet, and you're going to learn, you'll experience this with me if I screwed the pooch or did okay. I bought this 1958 Ariel Square 4. In my mind, an Ariel is a poor man's exotic. It's not a Brough Superior, it's not a Vincent, but it's complicated and got a lot of moving parts, and it's pretty. The later ones maybe don't bring as much as the older ones because of the way the header pipes are designed. Some people think the older ones are pretty, and vice versa. But I knew the bike as a runner because it belonged to a friend of mine. Running entitled, 10 grand plus a fee. 11, it's actually 11.2 because it's 12%, not 10%. If you look at other ones, I think they're a $12,000 to $15,000 bike. Also a 58, probably a little bit more presentable than mine. We'll see what that one does. And here's a 48 for $1,260. And here's one that's missing parts for $4,400. Remember that chopped Ariel that we saw running around at the Daytona Turkey Rod Run? Well, it's probably comparable to one like this. That one at least ran and drive. This is $4,400. Here's a 59 for $13,750. I didn't know they made them in 59. I thought 58 was the end of the aerial engined motorcycles. I thought 58 for the Red Hunter, that was it. And later they came out with the BSA engined aerials. I didn't know they went into 59. Maybe they did. And maybe red's a thing. I don't know. I bought this, and it's not the one that I wanted. The one that I wanted is coming up Saturday, and I expect because it's coming up Saturday, it's going to be more expensive. This is a Norton twin rotor Wankel. It's called an Interstate 2, but it's not an Interstate 2. This is actually a known bike. It was featured in several magazines over in the UK. What it is it's a modded, a custom, or I call it a civilianized police bike. It would have been an Interpol 2. I think they're water cooled, but I've never had one before. I've never even seen one before. But I know this bike to be a runner because I knew the owner. It's a twin rotor Wankel made by Norton, and it's one of the few Norton rotaries in the United States. There was one that went off for auction here last year. It was an Interpol with all the police stuff, and it brought a lot of money. I'll see if I can pull up those results. And there's another one coming that maybe by the end of this video you'll know if I got. 93 Norton Commander. Now, this is another water-cooled twin rotor Norton. I think this is the very end. I think the end was 92, but they may have squeezed a couple of bikes after that in 93. And this is one of those bikes with, I think, very low miles. Let's see what it says. Frame reads 477 kilometers. Someone I know knows this bike. He has the twin to it. They estimate that's going to sell between 20 and 25,000, which I frankly can't afford. So we're going to find out if I can buy that for something more reasonable. I think it's probably a $30,000 bike. And I would suspect that it's going to end up in Barber. And I would love to own it, even for that, but I'm not chasing it. I'll have fun with the little custom Interpol, and I'll have just as much fun with that. That $9,500 Interpol that I bought, I mean, that's, you know, I see Suzuki RE5 Wankels bring that much, so I'll have fun having twice the rotors. Now let's go back to the auction. Husqvarna 175 SC. Custom build. $9,000. Would you rather have that or the $3,300 Mecum? I think I'd rather have the Mecum. It's coming up next. Some more dirt bikes. What I normally do is I run this live, and then I view the lots. Today is Saturday, so I view the lots, I click Saturday, and I go to the number that we're having. We are on S97. This has been running since a little bit before noon. It's now 3 o'clock. They got 100 bikes in 3 hours. They're going to run long into the night. So 97 is on the second page. This is how I follow it. And actually it's easier to follow here than it is when you're there. But you're paying 2% plus shipping. So it's better to be here. Oh, I bid on a Victoria Bergmeister. Let's see what that, and my friend Rich Campbell bought it. Let's see what that brought. A lot of Captain America bikes made out of authentic pinheads. These were going for $20,000 5 years ago. I suspect they'll bring more now. Here's a Rapide. This is owned by a friend of mine. I was on the mark. Is that a Rapide with black cases? I'm told this is a 3 numbers matching bike. Here's that Monk Mammoth we saw at Daytona. with a Velarex Jawa sidecar. I'm sorry. That is ugly. Now we want to see what a Bandito brings. So there's quite a bit more. You know, once you get sucked into this, it's almost like being there. It costs $100 to register. And I suggest that you don't register, because then it's like candy. It's like getting a, what is it? They give you a free $25 credit at DraftKings or something? Yeah. I don't do DraftKings, but I want to see what this aerial does. It looks nicer than mine. And it's also a lot more money. Same year. This is what it means to sit through the whole auction. $22,000. That's twice. Doesn't actually say anything. I missed what it went for. But it was a lot more than mine. I'm waiting for Benelli's say. There's a Benelli a friend of mine wants to bid on. It's coming up next. There's an MV Agusta 850 coming up, which you also need to have. But look, they got a $5,000 spread. It's a $25,000 bid with a $30,000 ask. Earlier, they were bidding on a Vincent Rapide, actually a nice one, and they were bidding in 1,000 increments, and it stalled at $30,000. Yeah, here's the Benelli. Okay, $5,000 bid, ask is 10. Now it's at 12, asking 15. They're jumping it at $3,000 increments. Why did they dick that poor guy? You're out of this one. This is already up to $25,000. But you should want to know because you have yours. Now it's at 30. So they're jumping this. This is what they should have done to the Rapide. I would rather have the Rapide. This is at 40 grand, Rick. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Well, your jaw is hitting the floor, I guess. I think if someone offered you 40 grand, you'd let it go.
You don't get it.
Sold. 40 grand.
Sold at 40 grand.
At 40 grand. With, what was there, 30,000 miles on it? Make a video of yours. Oh, you now I have to cut that part out. Alright, no problem. Later.
You know,
Bye.
you're a great friend, and I do appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, I was on the...
Hello.
Hi.
How are you, Dave?
I was on the phone, and you were talking as we are watching an El Bandito live on Mecum. A Mark 1 360 El Bandito. It is now at 10 grand. Now it's going to... It's now 12. This is the... It's a black and white boat tail, fiberglass fenders.
Yeah.
Bid at 10. I mean, they were bringing $28,000 last year.
You have got to be kidding me.
No. So I figured, but this year they're soft at 11.
Okay.
Looks like it's gonna sell. Hang on. Close the bid. No sale. I got two of them.
Can you believe the owner would not let that go for $11,000?
That's because last year they were bringing 25, 30 grand. And so what my guessing is people thought that they would bring more. Now this year is soft. I bought 4 bikes already.
Yeah, it is.
There was
Absolutely.
a CZ that somebody did nice, but got a crummy repop aluminum tank that looked bad and black rims, and it would have been perfect for an Arma racer. But this is a collector's show. And but it was a 380.
Yes.
$1,100.
You have got to be kidding me.
The other thing you have to know, it's now 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now they're 3 hours earlier, but this thing has been running since noon. 6 hours in front of your computer. They're going to probably run till 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. They did last night. And I'm already winded. And I'm like usually an enthusiastic guy. My bike's coming up soon. But I bet you there's a lot of people turning the computer off near the end of the day. Either in disgust or tired or whatever. So if you are buying or selling, it's really hit and miss. I'm sorry, Bruno. I've been waiting. I know you wouldn't go out. What? Wait, this is it. After this, I'm sorry. Stop. Okay, the Norton Commander, 1993. It's at 20. And it's going in $2,000 increments. Oh, they whacked it down really quick. 20 winner. I would have liked it to do a little better, but I didn't buy it. I would have thought it would have done better. He whacked that down quick. And I didn't get it.